Ever been hypnotized? No? Then you'll like the chilling yarn I'm about to spin. It concerns a hypnotist, his wife, and, well, why not come into the vault of horror, pull up that coffin, sit yourself upon its wormy lid, and listen. You all know who I am. Yep, the Vault Keeper. Ready? Then I'll begin. I call this horror tale Ants in Her Trance. The guests at the dinner party turned as their wealthy hostess, Mrs. Justine Fleetwood, clapped her hands for attention. Behind her stood a striking dark-haired man with black piercing eyes. Beside him, a nervous, frail-looking woman fidgeted with her necklace.
All right, my friends, if I can have your attention, I have a surprise for you all. I've invited a famous person to entertain. Someone I'm sure you've all heard about. This is Leopold Manetti. How exciting! He's the amazing hypnotist.
Leopold Manetti stepped forward and bowed gracefully. Then he turned to the pale, thin woman at his side. This is my wife, Yvette. Tonight, at your charming hostess's request, I will present for your enjoyment a demonstration of the astounding art of hypnotism.
Will you all please find seats?
The guests scurried about, dragging chairs to and fro, until they were all seated before the hypnotist and his wife. Now that you are settled, I will begin. My wife here will be my subject in this demonstration. First, I will place her into a hypnotic trance. Once placed under this spell, she will obey my every wish. Only after I utter the words, snap out of it, will she be revived. Leopold turned to his frail wife and passed his hands over her face several times. Then he began to stare into her eyes while murmuring incoherent phrases. Soon, Yvette's eyes glazed. Her body grew rigid. There! Yvette is now in a hypnotic trance. Her will is mine to command. The mind is a wonderful thing, ladies and gentlemen. It has full control over every part of the body. Normally, we do not fully use the powers of the mind, but under hypnotism, these powers are brought into play. For example, Manetti turned to his wife. Yvette, cry! Yvette's waxen features sagged. She sighed pitifully and then began to whimper. Her eyes filled with tears. They spilled over her eyelids and ran down her cheeks. You see, at my command, she instantly obeys.
Astounding!
Incredible! Manetti turned to his wife once again. Yvette, perspire! Small beads of perspiration burst from the pores in Yvette's sallow face. Soon her entire countenance was shining wet. So, at my word, perspiration. Unbelievable!
Fantastic!
And now for my final demonstration. Is there one among you who is either a physician or has a knowledge of medicine?
I was a nurse.
Good. Will you kindly come up? I am going to do something that science claims is impossible. I am going to command Yvette to stop her heart from beating.
What? I don't believe it.
The lovely young woman who had volunteered came up to the hypnotist and his entranced wife. Kindly feel my wife's pulse, if you will.
I feel it. It's rapid, strong.
All right, Yvette. Stop your heart!
Her pulse. It stopped. She's dead.
Do not be alarmed, young lady. I have merely to utter the words, snap out of it, and my wife will be released from her hypnotic trance and her heart will beat once more.
Well, say it then, for God's sake. Hurry.
Snap out of it, Yvette.
Huh? Where am I? Oh, thank the Lord.
The color returned to Yvette's cheeks and she moved about the guests, chatting gaily. Meanwhile, Leopold had engaged his voluntary assistant in conversation. You seemed worried for a while, Miss...
Appleton. Selma Appleton. Yes, I was.
You were impressed then, Miss Appleton. It is Miss.
Yes, it's Miss Appleton. Oh, I was impressed. Very. You're wonderful.
Perhaps I can see you tomorrow. Say for lunch. We can talk further on hypnotism.
Oh, I'd be delighted. Make it 12:30, the blue candle.
The next day, Selma Appleton met Leopold Manetti for lunch. In the dimness of the candlelit cafe, his eyes bored into hers as he confessed. I had to see you again, Selma. Last night when I first saw you, I knew immediately. It took only a moment.
Please, Leopold, someone will see us.
Let them. I must tell you, I'm in love with you. You're beautiful, exciting, desirable. I fell in love with you the moment I saw you.
But, Leopold, your wife, you're married.
And if I were not married, would you consider?
I don't know. I like you. I think so. Yes, I think I would.
And so a secret love affair between Selma and Leopold began. They saw each other often after that. Finally, one night, at Selma's apartment.
It can't go on like this, Leo. This meeting secretly, behind locked doors, in dark streets.
What can I do, Selma? Yvette would never give me a divorce. Selma slipped down beside Leopold. There was a wild gleam in her eyes.
If she were dead, Leo, we could be married.
You mean kill her?
It could look like a natural death. You remember how we met. You were demonstrating how you could command Yvette to stop her heart.
You were the one who felt her pulse. You thought she was dead.
Exactly. Any doctor would have thought so. You remember, you assured me.
I told you that the words snap out of it would revive her. They always do. We've used the same ones for years.
Suppose you used other words. Suppose you failed to revive her.
She'd be dead.
And you'd be free. The police would call it an unfortunate accident. They couldn't prove intent. You'd be broken-hearted.
Yes, very. I'll do it, Selma. The next night, Leopold and Yvette had an engagement to demonstrate hypnotism. Leopold had made up his mind.
Yes, I feel her pulse. It's very strong.
All right, Yvette. Stop your heart.
Good Lord! Her pulse has stopped. Wake her up, man.
Wake up, Yvette. I said, wake up, Yvette. The rigid woman did not stir. Please, Yvette, wake up. Wake up.
She's dead.
The police came. The coroner examined Yvette.
This woman died of heart failure.
Yvette! Yvette! Yes, Leopold was broken-hearted. The police did call it an unfortunate accident. Everything worked out perfectly. The funeral was held a few days later. Yvette was laid away, and Leopold was free. After his wife was buried, Leopold went away to get over it. Having fun, Selma?
It's wonderful, Leopold, but when can we be married?
We've got to wait a while. It wouldn't look right. We've got to make sure no one suspects. We ought to wait at least a year.
A year? But Leo, that's such a long time.
Yes, a year is a long time. Time enough for a woman like Selma to begin to brood. Then, when the year was up, Leopold insisted that they visit Yvette's grave to pay their respects.
But why, Leo? Why? I don't want to see her grave. I'm afraid.
Don't talk so loud. Someone might hear you. Come on, it's right over there. They stood before Yvette's grave, with heads bowed. Suddenly Selma began to cry, hysterically.
You shouldn't have taken me here. I feel ashamed. We're murderers!
Shut up, you fool! Selma began to rave. Her screaming voice echoed across the headstones.
We're murderers! Murderers! Murderers!
Thank God the place is deserted. No one will hear her. Leopold grasped Selma's shoulders. He shook her roughly. Snap out of it! You're hysterical! Then they turned to go. As they made their way across the rows of graves, a small fissure appeared in the mound below Yvette's tombstone. The grave was cracking open. You were right, Selma. We shouldn't have come. A rotted hand, crawling and foul-smelling, reached up into the gathering twilight. Leopold and Selma were just disappearing into the dusk. It's just that I thought it would look good. I didn't think it would break you up like that. Leopold and Selma reached the cemetery gate. It towered above them, rising 12 feet into the falling darkness, ending at the top in razor-sharp spikes.
Leopold, the gate!
Good Lord! It's locked! Chained and locked! Suddenly there was a sound behind the trapped couple. The nauseating odor of decay and putrescence burned their nostrils. They turned.
Oh my God!
Yvette! The maggot-covered slimy thing lumbered toward them. Bits of rotted flesh fell from its chalky bones. Clods of graveyard earth slipped from its moldy clothes. It reached out a decayed hand toward them, passing it before their paled faces. They found Selma and Leo the next morning. Funny thing, there wasn't a mark on either of them. The coroner said it looked like heart failure. Their eyes were bulging out of their sockets, though. He said it was if they'd been hypnotized. Well, we know different, eh? A better name for it would have been corpsenotized. Oh, by the way, your eyes will bulge from their sockets when you see back issues. The Crypt Keeper's Corner, which follows the text, tells you how to get yours.